Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Beauty and Brains, a podcast for First Girls from First Girls. I'm your host, Shivani Wakamala from 1441 Don't Blink, and today I'm here with a very special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, my name is Riley. I am from FTC Team 7288, based in Minnesota, and I'm here to talk with you guys.
Yeah, 100%. So, kind of starting at the beginning, what do you think got you into first robotics and, kept you going?
Well, actually, I first learned about FIRST robotics in kindergarten. So my school hosted a school carnival, and there was robotics teams there, and they were driving the robots. And as a kindergartner, I thought that was the coolest thing ever. So I ended up like telling myself I'm joining a robotics team once I hit seventh grade. And sure enough, seventh grade came around. I joined a team, and it's been phenomenal. The experiences I've got from this is truly you can't get it anywhere else. So glad I'm continuing to do it, definitely.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, like I think finding first robotics when you're little is just so much fun because you get to grow within the program because they have experiences ranging from the younger kids all the way up to, senior in high school. So kind of with that, your FCC team is a majority girls team, if I'm correct. And how do you think it being an all girls team has kind of shaped your confidence in STEM and robotics?
Yeah, so for 4 years, it has been a completely all girls team. Last year, we introduced a single boy to our team. So it's been really comforting just being around people without maybe judgment that, oh, you're not maybe good enough, or like your ideas aren't heard. Everybody here is so supportive, at least with my team. We're a smaller team. We have usually around 6 members at a time on our team, and all of them have been just truly phenomenal to work with. And even the guy we added, of course, he's great. I mean, but it's really brought up a lot of confidence, especially with me.
Yeah, I think that's great to
Yeah, I
hear.
think
Like,
that's great to hear.
coming into an environment with all girls is definitely very comforting, like how you said. And I think it's very low pressure in a way where it's like you might not feel the need to impress as much if it were to be co-ed. So I think that that is definitely very helpful to people incoming and it's less intimidating 100%. And I also think that First does a good job of like programs like First Like a Girl is like a really nice program and like they do a very good job of advocating for women in STEM. So kind
Absolutely,
of
yeah.
yeah, so kind of with that, your team has had success by qualifying for the World Championship this year, if I'm correct. And first of all, congratulations. That's an amazing achievement, truly is. So what do you think was the highlight of your season of this season?
Well, this year's been a roller coaster. Our first competition, it didn't go well at all. So it's been like really ups and downs. That second competition, we did great. I think we got first Inspire, at our first competition. But going to Worlds for the first time, this is the first time our entire school district has ever gone. Um, we never like truly thought that this could be like achievable. Minnesota's highly competitive. We have about 200 teams, and only 7 of them go each year. So, like, starting as a seventh grader, I was like, that could be a dream. And then I remember, like, holding on to my team, like, crying as we heard our name announced. It was just like something that like, our seventh graders dreamed of doing, and us being able to go and just hearing our name called to go was amazing. Through all of our ups and downs, it somehow worked this year.
Yeah, definitely. I think like those competitions where it's just a roller coaster and like by the end of it, like you're getting all the success is like truly like a kind of a relief of a feeling where it's kind of like my heart rate was insane today, but it's all paying off because I have this amazing experience. And Worlds is just incredible. Like you're meeting teams from all over like that you like wouldn't even expect there to be a robotics team from that country and there's a few of them at Worlds, which is insane. And kind of with that, like, what do you think is like one moment from Worlds that you'll like never forget?
Well, I think it was our first match. There was a team, I want to say they were from Africa. I don't remember where. And I just remembered like being with this team, like they have like their own accents, their own culture, and I'm standing next to them, and like they're just so supportive. They didn't care how the match went, yet somehow like we connected through just we're here at this robotics tournament. All of us made it somehow to this, and just standing with a team. Not knowing what the heck is happening was like that was probably my favorite part. And they were so nice and wonderful to be around. So definitely just meeting those people, finding those connections through, different cultures and people.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like Worlds is such an amazing experience because it's like this whole entire group of like people connected through robotics. And, all of the different types of first robotics teams being in one convention center makes it even better. Like being able to, step out of our little FTC world and go see FRC matches or go see FLL projects. Like that is like a truly amazing feeling. Like it's so much fun. Like being able to talk about something that you're so passionate about from people that are all over. 100%. So you, from what I've seen, is that you started your own business designing and selling CAD files, which is incredible. Congratulations again. Like that's truly amazing. So what inspired you to turn your CAD skills into a business?
Well, my mom's actually a teacher, so I sell teacher files. And I've always been passionate about CAD. From the first year I joined robotics, that was kind of like my niche. I fell under a lot of stuff on my team, but I always like love CAD. So my mom came home from her one day at a kindergarten class, and she's like, "I really want this design." And I said, "Okay, whatever, I'll design it for you." And we came up with the idea of what if other teachers want this? And so we started selling our designs and they blew up. We made like a bunch of files. We made some money on this. And company had reached out to me and we're now in works with a big company. Like it's the small start to this big like finish, not finish, it's still ongoing, but has been incredible. Just working with us inside of our household, designing simple CAD files is crazy to me.
No, yeah, that's like truly amazing. Like being able to make a business out of something that you're so passionate about is a very rewarding feeling in a way, where it's kind of like what I really love to do, people love to see. So it's kind of like, and like you said, it's still ongoing. I'm sure it's growing and growing, and I think probably that sense of like kind of wanting more in a way is definitely a very uplifting and pushing factor. And, kind of with that, obviously you seem very busy with this. How do you think, or do you have any tips for kind of time managing your school, your FTC team, doing this business, and like kind of being still well-rounded in a way?
Yeah, so I have like all that you said, but I also do like theater and I'm in National Honor Society. I do tutoring. Like there's a lot of stuff that I do. I think the big thing, and I didn't know this at the start of my robotics, is having people know that you're going through a lot and like they know I can do almost anything they give me. But knowing that some of these smaller tasks that they hand me, that maybe they know, oh, she doesn't need this right now. And maybe other people like on my robotics team, they might take like printing the portfolio or taking these smaller needs off of my shoulder. I've seen that just asking for help is big. I know it sounds scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, and just having a schedule is huge as well. I was not always great at keeping track of everything that was going on, and now just keeping documentation right, having a schedule and all that has been really helpful for me.
Yeah, definitely 100%. And I like how you said like I feel like asking for help is very good and that comes with being comfortable in your team setting, I feel like. I remember during Worlds Prep like I was like stressed out, like I had school too, and I was doing my science homework and I remember looking at my paper and not knowing anything on it. And one of my teammates or two of my teammates sat down with me and like helped me through my science homework. We took a little break. Everybody else was having their snack. I was trying to finish my homework. Like I think it's those small moments that I look back and I find that absolutely hilarious. But it was also so helpful at the time because being so stressed, they were able to sit down and kind of help me through it. And I think having a calendar too is very important. I mean, like, I obviously with scheduling different meetings for Beauty and Brains, like I feel like having a calendar is definitely the thing that's keeping me going right now, is because I'm not trying to get any mix-ups, you know? So definitely. And kind of with that, what do you think is like the biggest lesson you learned from managing all the amazing things that you're doing?
I would say, although it sounds really overwhelming, it's worth it. Like a little stress now puts you so far ahead in the future. Like, I mean, obviously I never thought that this is where I would end up. Like this is so crazy for me. But yeah, like just making those first steps into your crazy future really makes the best out of it. And obviously, I'm passionate about what I do. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. So just having that passion, just wanting to do it is a big like yes to me.
Yeah, 100%. Again, like I feel like passion drives a lot of it. Like,
Mhm.
you wouldn't necessarily want to balance it all if you didn't have a passion for it. And robotics is like such like a heavy time commitment, I would say. So it's like if you didn't have passion for it, then I think it's shown in your performance within robotics. And I think First also does a good job of like catering and fostering that like passion for it or that want to continue and do better, which I think that encourages a lot of kids to keep on going and try and do their best. Definitely. So going back to you personally, you have a CAD internship, which is again, congratulations, which is absolutely
Thank
amazing.
you.
How do you think that like opportunity came about and what are you like most excited for?
Yeah, so this is very recent that I learned about this. So I'm going into my senior year, which getting an internship before you're even like truly a senior, like mind-boggling to me. So it's I okay. So with my business, this company like found our designs, and we were getting mentioned a lot by through in their community. So they actually reached out to us offering partnership with them. And then they offered me an internship because they saw my files that I was designing and they were very impressed. We actually had a meeting with them and we were talking about some. They actually designed a similar file that they just recently released. And what took their people like 4 months, it took me 2 weeks to design. So it was kind of weird hearing it from them. And so they wanted me as a part of their team for the next month and a half. I start on Monday. Um, and yeah, it's been crazy. And like the experience so far is just a lot of communication. I haven't started necessarily the job part of it yet. So no updates on that. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, like, again, like, that's amazing. Like, congratulations. Like, what do you think you're most excited for out of the whole experience?
Well, I mean, I know past like college, past, all my schooling, I wanted to design. I My dream job would be designing prosthetics for people without limbs. So just getting like an early view into this field, even though it's, with educational stuff, I think this will be good for me to kind of solidify this is what I want to do. This is what I'm passionate about. So I'm excited to just work with a team of actual professionals instead of, just my robotics team. They're all wonderful, but this is a different feel. Like more in different CAD softwares, all that kind of fun stuff. So definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, definitely. Also, like, kind of seeing that like real life like implement well, like that real
Mhm.
life kind of seeing it come to life, like seeing people do what you want to do in the future, I feel like is a very rewarding feeling. Not only
Mhm.
rewarding, but I would say like inspirational kind of like seeing it implemented into the real world and like seeing like oh like that could be me in my future and I think that's an amazing feeling. And like kind of with that, going into this, like you said, you're in like kind of the communication stage and you're starting very soon. What surprised you most about, business, like working in professional engineering versus in your high school?
Yeah, I think the big thing is how, from what I've gauged from our communication, is how they all start like learning new again. They have like a separate what's the word for it? So I use Onshape for my CAD.
Yeah.
They use a different program that's not like a traditional program for CAD. So they hire their people with CAD background, but not necessarily like background fit for them. So it's interesting that like they're looking for these maybe skilled people, but not maybe already skillfully trained in what they're looking for. So I thought that was really interesting. Also just how polite everything has been. Like from two like almost competing like company standpoints. Just introducing us and like making this, exchange has been very delightful, I would hope, for both of us. And I feel like everybody's gaining something out of the situation. They're not trying to, rip us from our company. They're trying to work with us. And I think I didn't expect that. I expected them wanting to maybe buy us out or, something else. So it's been very delightful and seeing, now obviously not all companies are going to be like that. But from this standpoint, it's been relatively easy, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of going
Um,
back to what you were saying about like how they use a different CAD software, that's quite interesting. I don't think I've heard of that. Like, do you think that might be because like when you're asking somebody to join your robotics team, obviously it's amazing if they have on-shape experience because you kind of really only have your 5 or I believe like 6 years in FTC to really master on-shape versus when you're getting into a company you have as long as you can, work for that kind of difference maybe is what fosters that. Do you think that?
yeah, I think also this is just from what I'm possibly thinking as well. Having somebody learn and be proficient in your certain thing, maybe long term, it might scare them possibly away from learning a new one because it takes a lot of effort. They get them maybe comfortable into a certain software, and it's fun being, versatile in a
Yeah.
software. Like I personally, it's scary to learn this new one, but I'm excited because it gives me more opportunities to, bounce around with different tool sets. But some people might not like that change. So I think just keeping, it a little more specialized could be
Yeah.
good in a company standpoint. But also that's a theory, who knows, right?
Yeah. And I also think that like how you're saying going into this new software, I think that like maybe like there's stuff in there that you can apply to Onshape that maybe you haven't seen
Mhm.
before, you know. It's I think it's all a learning experience and like that
Yeah.
versatility will definitely help you in the future, even though other companies might not use that specific software that they're using, definitely. And
Yeah.
kind of talking about internships and everything like that, how do you think First has helped you prepare for internships or prepare to make these professional relationships?
I think a big thing is how first like promotes like connection within like not only FTC but just throughout all their platforms. I mean, like your team, you're reaching out to just like random people, sharing their experiences. Like my team, we connect with different people from across the world and just virtual meetings. Um, First does a good job at wanting connection, at wanting different people to like create helpful atmospheres to grow. And I think that just putting that onto members, they can use those skills of communication, those skills of, collaboration and all of that in, their everyday lives as they grow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And kind of, going into this professional setting, like how you're talking about, do you think you ever experience kind of like imposter syndrome or not necessarily feeling like the smartest person in the room and, losing a little bit of confidence going into the room because you feel like that? And if so, how do you think you've come over that or are working towards coming over that?
I mean, absolutely. I'm just a senior, like in high school here. I'm no big shot, person. I'm did all that stuff for my home. So coming in, seeing that companies like are looking for my skill set, daunting. That's really like scary. So seeing that they do want that, at first I was like, this can't be real. I'm not good enough for it. But I think just being in the mindset that yes, they want me, but they want me here to learn. It's an internship. It's not a job opportunity.
Hmm.
So them wanting to teach me and help me grow has helped me be like, yes, they want me, but they want to help me and to unlock more of what I can do. And that's helped me because it means I'm not the best. It means that I have room to grow and I'm here for it. I love to learn all of this stuff. And that's
Yeah.
been like my big motivator.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like also when I was going into FTC for the first time, I had like crazy, like I was so scared. I was like, I basically been doing FLL for, I've been doing FLL for a very long time. And then I was moving into FTC. I said, like, what if FLL is kind of where my growth stops? What if I don't necessarily go to my fullest potential in FTC if I don't do my best as much as I was doing in FLL? And I think that kind of since my team was taking me on as a rookie with no FTC experience, I kind of had to change my mindset from all these people here have so much experience because we're a senior team. And I changed it to more of like they know that I'm not coming in with many experience within FTC and they are willing to teach me and willing to help me learn. Definitely. I think that change of mindset has made me more comfortable but also confident within that learning space 100%. So, kind of with that, what advice would you give to girls who are interested in CAD but don't know how to start out necessarily?
I would say to find like your starting point. For me, I had a mentor that was helpful at the starting stages. He taught me the basics. However, I didn't know where to go off of that. And a lot of people they start there. You know how to do sketches, you know how to do extrudes, but how do you make these complex shapes? I think doing it not only for robotics has helped me, but like if my dad needs a part around the house or like for like we designed something for a friend of ours boat trailer.
Yeah.
Like there's uses for it outside of robotics and taking up these projects that don't need to be done fast, but just learning the different tools that are given to you has been really helpful. I know that one of the products I designed, it took me like a good part of my summer to design, but I've used those skills that I didn't think were really important in my everyday CADing and robotics. So just find your start. Yes, you know your basic sketches, you know your extrudes, but dabble in those other tools. Some of those like fillets, the sweeps, the helixes, all of those are fun kind of things to just what does it do? How do people actually use this? And just getting used to all of those has been incredibly helpful.
Yeah, definitely 100%. And, you seem very passionate in what you do. I have to agree. And, CAD and everything is just amazing. And as we're coming up on our last couple minutes for this episode, I want to ask you one last question is, kind of looking ahead past high school, maybe into college or your future career, where do you hope that STEM and CAD takes you?
Yeah, like I said a little earlier, prosthetics has always been an interest in me. I think using STEM not only just to like advance technology for the future, but to like help the nowadays, like the people in the present has been really moving towards me. And continuing with my CAD through design, I hope to use prosthetics. And I hope to like make parts for people and give my knowledge to other people that they can benefit from. And that's been a big motivator for me, just knowing that I could be helping people, and not just a corporation necessarily, but a person on the other side of it. That's like truly a dream and an amazing thing for me.
Yeah, 100%. I think that like that is definitely a motivating factor where like robots and just, STEM in general are becoming so big in everyday life now and I'm guessing by the time that, our generations, kids in high school now are going into their careers, I'm sure it'll be even bigger. So it's kind of like knowing that what I think is so fun right now can be a career in the future is
Mhm.
definitely a very amazing and like motivating feeling in a way.
Yeah, absolutely.
So again, like as we're coming up on our last couple minutes, I just wanted to say thank you like so much for, coming on here today and talking about your experiences and giving some amazing advice. So thank you.
Yes, thank you. This was really fun to talk to you, so I appreciate this amazing opportunity.
Of course, of course. And to the viewers, thank you so much for watching today's episode of Beauty and Brains. I hope to catch you in the next one next Sunday. Bye.